Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I'm Zemor, the Grim Daddy himself, and today we got it officially announced that a new survivor is coming into Dead by Daylight. And if you haven't figured it out who it is already, well, it's up there somewhere. That way, that way. Alan Wake. Now, Alan Wake comes from a series of games under the same name, and he is a writer, kind of like Stephen King in a sense. He's the Stephen King of his universe, and he writes novels, and he basically takes on fog monsters with flashlight. Does that sound like any other franchises that you could think of? Now, it's a kind of, I describe it as a Resident Evil style puzzle solving game with psychological type elements. From what I've heard, I have played a little bit, but I haven't played through the games. People have said they're absolutely fantastic, so I think this is a great addition to the fog. And to be honest, I'm surprised it took Dead by Daylight so long to try and create this collab, because quite frankly, Alan Wake was the perfect candidate for a survivor. It's received quite a mixed reception on Twitter. There's been a lot of people who've been saying, "Who the hell is Alan Wake?" Some people have been playing it off as a joke, but let's just go with it as people being dumbasses and just not reading the room. Either way, Alan Wake is coming to Dead by Daylight on the 30th of January, and he's pretty damn interesting, and we're going to talk about his perks in just a second. So we have the perks, and it's on the Reddit post that they put for the patch notes for the next patch, so I'll leave that down below in the description. And the first perk Alan Wake has is Champion of Light. While you're holding a flashlight, this perk activates, and when you are shining a flashlight, you gain 50% haste. When you successfully blind the killer, they gain a 20% hindered debuff for 6 seconds, and this effect cannot stack with itself. Then this perk goes on cooldown for 80, 70, or 60 seconds. So yeah, this could be an incredibly powerful thing to use. It's going to basically hinder killers quite significantly if you get that blind. Using it with background player would definitely be an idea. And when I think about it, Chemical Trap would also stack with the hindered bonus. So pretty much you'd potentially be able to get a lot of distance on killers if you use this in conjunction with Chemical Trap to get them to break a pallet. And on God pallets, that would actually be pretty damn busted. So yeah, interesting perk, definitely the best one. I expect people are going to use Lightborn a lot more because of it, but we'll see what happens. Then we have Boon Illumination. Now, it's got all the regular Boon text, but the basic gist of what it does is while you're in the radius of the Boon, you can see the aura of all gens and generators in blue. And then I forget if this is just a generic Boon one, but if you have a lit Boon token, you can cleanse boons easier. I don't know if that sounds like it might actually be just a generic one, but either way, that's how it works. When it comes to other boons, I definitely think there's stronger ones out there. I think that one is very useful for newer players who don't know maps quite as well and don't know where things spawn, don't know where chests spawn, all that kind of thing. But for a more seasoned player, I think that's going to be something that they would probably not bother with. I could be wrong, but yeah, I definitely think that's potentially something that survivors won't use if they're more experienced. Then we have Deadline. This perk activates when you're injured. Skill checks appear 6, 8, or 10% more frequently when repairing or healing and appear in random places, and the penalty for missing skill checks is reduced by 50%. Now, this one could be relatively interesting. I definitely think this one is going to be a bit more of a not wider used perk. I think this is going to be a more specific perk to builds that require you to get more skill checks, like hyper focus, that kind of thing. I definitely think it's going to be used when people are trying to get challenges done for the Rift that require X amount of skill checks and whatnot. So it's definitely going to see some use. We'll find out how good it's going to be when it's actually out and when we get a chance to play with it. But at the same time, I do think it's a niche perk. I don't think it's as wide of a use as something like Champion of Light, where quite a lot of people run flashlights or will use flashlights and builds to harass the killer. Either way, I definitely think Alan Wake's got some okay perks. Champion of Light definitely a good one, but can be completely countered by simply putting on Lightborn. So yeah, who knows how that's going to go? And the point I would make is that the hindered effect will affect Flashbang and also, um, oh god, what's it called? Blast Mine, but only if you're holding a flashbang. So, should be interesting. Either way, guys, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.